And we're at the Island Club, and I've been talking to John Scrimgeour and Don Armitage about the launch of the book True Tales, which is going to take place tomorrow at Claris. I was just talking, asking them how much the book would be, and I was told that it is $25 if you turn up tomorrow, and after that it's going to have the regular shelf price of $35. Now there's another reason to kind of come along and pick up your own copy. Now, John, the whole process of getting this book together sounded quite interesting, because the History Research Group really kind of rallied behind that. Tell us how the project came into being.
Well, 17 months ago, the History Group was formed, and a year ago, Don came up with the proposal. Look at what they've done in Coromandel. We needed to open our kitty of knowledge. The history is dying here with old people. A lot of it is lost. We must retain. And so we can gain inspiration from the past by going to old-timers, to friends, etc. And so, it was advertised in the bulletin. A competition was set up, and it was proactively pushed by the small group, the committee that was formed. And the group has grown to 70 members, over 70 members now. And it's quite an exciting time. So really a year from the proposal to now, the work's been done, the book has been produced. It's going to be a very exciting reflection on the old ways, the old-timers, the things that kids love and if they're studying history at school, exciting things for the boffin who's interested in mechanical things, from boats to planes to transport on the barrier, all sorts of interesting things which people won't have thought of. But the most important thing, I guess, is the interface of and from the people that you will know walking about who have amazing stories. They came with adventures, they were leaving things, they created a new way of life. It's such an exciting eclectic collection of stories. Fantastic, and I think people really will love this book as a Christmas present. Don, I'll hand over to you because you can be more specific as you wish. Okay.
Thanks, John. Well, I'm hoping this book will be a great Christmas present, and a great coffee table book, and a great reference. That's the three main things that I want to see it being promoted for, I suppose. And it's a good model for repeating it, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, Neil.
Well, I was just curious because I'm quite impressed with the number of contributors that you managed to get together, because it is actually not easy to get people to write things down and do it in a good format, and even to locate people in the first place that have got stories to tell. They're not really sort of within our orbit anymore. So how do you go about finding the people and then helping them write their stories down?
Well, first of all, we had the competition to attract people to writing for a prize. I suspect that the prize wasn't the complete inducement. It was just the fact that it was being promoted attracted most people. But we had the Barrier Bulletin and this radio station to spread the word about the competition, and it had a finite endpoint, so there was an urgency to get the stories written, but enough time for people to do their own research and drafting and all that sort of thing. And it didn't matter if they made spelling mistakes or went over the 1,500 word maximum, because we could always clean that up and shorten it back to the 1,500 words. But the other method was to think of and discuss who could we contact to perhaps persuade to write short stories. And there was quite a few wrote short stories as a result of being contacted, and that was very satisfying. And there was just wild card people come out of the woodwork that I never even heard of before. and come out with short stories about Great Barrier from the past. It just blew me away when I started reading through them all. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting how people were ready to tell their story, and it is often like that. If you give people a chance to sort of give it to a good forum, then to record it for posterity, of course, is a good opportunity. Did you have people approach you that you would not have expected to kind of come forward with stories of their own?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'd never heard of some people, but once I got talking to them, I got more enthusiastic about making sure that they got their short story in, so that it would add to the store of stories. Because, of course, you start off with one story come in, and you wonder strongly whether another story will come in, and eventually the numbers start building in 20, 30, 40, 50. And I know Coromandel Town History Group got 72 stories in, but when it started going past 70, I started relaxing a bit more, and it eventually got to about 105, 106, 107. And but if we do another book, I think the word will be out there, and we'll get more than 100 more easily and more quickly. And also, we're going to announce tomorrow that about another book competition, a short story competition. So the details of that we'll talk about it later anyway.
Now, you actually confirmed to me one thing I discovered soon after arriving on this island here, and it's something that I often describe to people elsewhere, because people say, okay, there must be a fantastic place today, wonderful landscape, and these sort of things. I say, yeah, but the people that live here are the real taonga, as you sort of said, John, because you scratch the surface of just about anybody you walk across, and there's the most amazing stories that come out from past and present. Look, we're going to come back in a moment, because this project is only the start of much more to come, but we'll come back to that after another track of music.